Evening, Facebook Nation, and welcome to yet another episode of Did You Hire Him Dead or Kill Him After You Got Him? I'm your host, Anthony Santangelo, National Sales Recruiting Trainer for AutoMax Recruiting and Training. Now, as you see tonight, Facebook Nation, I am not by myself, and it's not a screen splitting us. I'm actually face-to-face with the newest National Sales Recruiting Trainer with AutoMax Recruiting and Training, Miss Kathy Baxter.
Hey guys.
How are you, Kathy?
I'm doing great. Hope you guys are.
So before we get into Kathy's amazing story, today was Kathy's first official day as a trainer with AutoMax. And this is Kathy's first ever Facebook Live.
Ever.
Give her some hearts and likes and hit the share button, please.
Thanks, guys.
You know, it's a big thing. It's not an easy thing, is it?
No, I'm nervous.
But obviously, social media, the power of social media, is a very important thing when it comes to, being a trainer with AutoMax. And I had the privilege and honor to be conducting the train-to-trainer part of Kathy's training here, as she is with me this week in Georgia. So very, very excited. Please hit the heart button, the like button, the wow button, and share this out, please. I'm going to share it out as well. Just give me 1 second here on it. So, Kathy, why I'm doing that, why don't you tell Facebook Nation about how your first day was and our first day of the campaign? So we're doing a Tuesday through Friday campaign this week. Why don't you go ahead and talk about this?
My first day was actually quite interesting. It was pretty amazing. I actually learned a lot from Anthony. I love the company. It's very exciting. I learned a lot about different aspects of people coming in and what their hopes and dreams are and what they want out of life. So it's just actually just really interesting what they want to do.
Yeah.
And being in the auto industry, that's what I've always known anyway. But just stepping back and just taking a look and just reading and looking in their eyes and just seeing what they really want out of life is just really interesting to know that.
And we had how many interviews today do we have?
Today we had there was 15, I think that came in. Yeah.
We had 15 interviews,
so,
big team effort with AutoMax Recruiting and Training.
Right.
The total was greater than the sum of its individual parts. And we're just scratching the surface. We have many interviews scheduled tomorrow, and we're working Thursday behind the scenes as well, which is very, very exciting. It is, Kathy hit the nail on the head there. You see different applicants, and you see how they are and act and react, and you want to make sure people are all in, so to speak. What a surprise me saying that, right? We had that integrity, commitment, and efficiency. That's what we did today, and you even did one of the interviews, didn't you?
I did. Anthony put me on out there, and I was a little bit nervous, but I got through it. So he put me all in. He did.
Yeah,
I got through it.
And it's I'm a big believer that you get out there and you put yourself out there and do it. And it was okay. We all grow. And I explained to Kathy, my first two campaigns on AutoMax were the best. But Craig and Ernie and Joe stayed with this kid. And I'm very fortunate and blessed that they did. And now I have the privilege to give back and to have a trainer that I'm working side by side with, helping in her journey, which is really remarkable. It really is. So the people that are on right now, they're all coming to see you.
I do, and I want to say, hey, hello, thank you for
this is
being
Kathy's
here for me.
first ever Facebook Live. So
Ever.
Pound the heart button, hit the wow button, hit the like button, and hit the freaking share button, please. It's important. I want her to see the value of this, which is great. It's just it's important to support each other, and that's what we stand for at AutoMax. And I'm asking my faithful Facebook followers to please join us and support Kathy here as our newest member of the AutoMax team. So let's start and turn the clock back here to that little girl that grew up in North Carolina.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And why don't you take it from there?
Well, both of my parents are 90 years old now, still. And my dad just raised 3 daughters. Can you imagine that? I was supposed to be the boy. Sorry, Dad. But you know what? I think I'm the toughest of my sisters. Sorry, sisters, if you're watching, which I know you are. But no, all three of us are pretty strong headed because of him. He really raised us with a lot of morals and values. And because that's how he was raised. My mom, she's just such a wonderful, wonderful person. But they're both 90, and they've been married for like 70 years, and so we just came from a really, really great background. Which gave us good hearts, and we're very grateful for everything that we've always had, and we worked really hard for it. My dad really taught us girls that one thing I will teach you, girls, if you say you're going to give your word, that's what you do, and we've always done that. So that's how we were raised.
Now, can you imagine that Facebook Nation being married 70 years? 70 years. I mean, some of us can't get by 7 months, but just saying. But 70 years, they're both 90, and they're still in their own home.
They are still in their own home. My dad takes care of my mom.
Yeah, and your dad takes care of your mom, and he still cooks. I think you were telling me earlier when we were having dinner.
From scratch.
Yeah.
From scratch.
God bless him. He does that, and he raised 3 daughters, just like Joe Lockert's raising 3 daughters right now. So I guess he could say that Nora was supposed to be his boy too, which is his youngest daughter, who's adorable.
And by the way, it's not easy raising 3 girls. I can attest to that.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing, So you grew up that way, and obviously you grew up in some good morals and a little bit strict, I guess, we talked about before, with that. And you grew up and you yourself has been married for quite a while. How many years have you been married?
Steve and I have been married for 37 years.
Yeah.
37.
37 years, and you have 2 children, right?
We have 2 children. Yeah.
So a boy and a girl.
Boy and
so
girl.
You got it right the first 2 times, so to speak, right? One of each,
right?
That's
right?
right?
Yeah, we did.
So,
yeah.
And I believe your grandma as well, I think, right?
I am.
Yeah, so,
I'm a Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi. 2 granddaughters, I believe, right?
2. Yeah. Well, I have 3.
Oh,
3
3.
granddaughters. Yeah.
Okay.
3 granddaughters.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, and they call you Mimi.
They do. They call me Mimi.
That's
yep.
exciting, So
Beautiful granddaughters.
and everyone for the most part's in North Carolina, right?
Everybody is in North Carolina. My whole family. Yeah.
So I'm with the Southern Belle this week down here outside Atlanta, Georgia. So there's Yankees down here in Georgia. So Kathy's helping me get that chip off my shoulder.
That's
that
right.
Northeast thing a little bit. So cleaning my act up.
That long A. Thank you.
So we even said grace when we had dinner last night.
We did.
So I'm learning. I am, and I'm ready going back to some of the past roots, and there's a better way of saying it, which is exciting that way. So you grew up there, and you raised your children, and then what was your first career when you first started out?
My very first career when I was 15 years old, I started out in a movie theater serving popcorn. And that's what I did. I loved it. I was always doing something. And so I think, let's see, what was my next? I was always creative and doing something, but that was my very first career. I think I worked in a grocery store.
Okay.
Was my next. I was 16 then, and I worked there for probably about 2 or 3 years until I graduated, and then I worked as a teller in a bank. So that's what I did after that.
And then when did the car business get involved?
The car business came, I went to real estate school, and then I worked under an agent for quite a while. And then my husband actually got into it. And so he was on the road for a while, and I was like, you know what, I probably can do this better than you. So I joined him because he was on the road, and guess what? I did do it better than him. I wanted to say that, but I hope he's not listening right now, but he probably is.
No disrespect to Steve at all, but women do sell more cars than men, and that's true.
So I did. I joined him on the road, and we both joined up as a team, and we were pretty much a powerhouse at that point. And we had fun together, and we traveled together for many, many years. And then I decided, if I can do this, then hey, I can own my own business, and I did that.
So before we get into your own business, to travel together, why don't you explain to Facebook Nation kind of what a road warrior or private sale, what is that?
Well, being a gypsy on the road is pretty much what I was. We would just go like to be invited to different dealerships, and we would go in. And back then, like 12 years ago, I say back then because it was quite a while ago, we would just be invited to different dealerships, and it would be whatever. And we would go in, and there weren't many saleswomen out there, so I would find myself out in the snow and the rain and the cold, and I would be fighting for ups, as you would say. Um, and I was going to get my dollar. I was going to make my money, and I learned that thick skin right away, and I did. And so I found a passion. Though there was something in me, burning in me, in that side of me that I saw that I had already had deep down, and I wanted it. And it wasn't about the money, really.
Right.
It was about helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what was already always there. So that's what I did. And that's when the business came, was when I saw that I was actually helping people. And I can remember I was in Milwaukee, Anthony, and there was a guy, he pulled in a cab.
Okay.
And just to remember this one incident, he pulled in a cab, and I believe he had to ask his pastor to end up helping him of the church, but he couldn't get a car, he couldn't get finance. But I felt so sorry when he left that day. I was actually in tears because I wanted to help him so badly to get into a car, but he couldn't get in the car. So I was doing everything I could. I was working with finance. I was working with the managers. I was working with just everybody that I could. Calling his family members, just everything. And it took all day just to work with this one guy.
Yep.
So we got his pastor. His pastor helped him out. He needed down payment money or whatever it was, but we got him a car. I was going to make sure that this guy got the car because I couldn't stand him having children and them having to walk or whatever they had to do. So that was my passion. From there on out, that was going to be it.
There's nothing more rewarding than when a customer says it's the best car buying experience they ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear that as early as your first week, or you don't have to be 20-something years with business to do that. It's all about relationships,
Right.
about giving people a chance. Sound familiar, Facebook Nation? And that's what it's about, giving opportunities. So if it's trying to get a deal approved for someone that has secondary credit, derogatory credit, or just giving people a chance with a career or in their personal life. That's what it's about. We were kind of talking about this as we were having dinner earlier.
Right.
We had we went to a Chinese food restaurant. We went, right?
Yes, we did.
So I asked Kathy, "Where you want to go to eat?" "Oh, I don't know. You decide." It's like I said, "Kathy, how many times I've heard that in my life from a female?" I said, "Just pick a place, and then she finally said, let's go to Chinese food." I said, "Great, fine, no problem." So we were talking about that, and it was talking about living in the moment and giving opportunities, with it. So which is an exciting thing. On that. So you went in that route and you're traveling and you're helping people and you're letting your heart shine.
Right.
You're helping people and money's important as we talked about, but money's a distant second. And we also were talking about tonight about, redefine the nature of your association with people. And it's important to understand that you do things to positively impact the lives of others. That's what we stand for at AutoMax. If you don't believe in that, guess what? Craig and Ernie are not going to let Joe are not going to let you join.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right.
It's about doing the right thing, not touching dishonest dollars. When you do, you're out.
Right.
Simple as that. It's very important to do those things. So you moved into doing the private sales. So you're traveling, being a road warrior, traveling with your husband.
Correct.
I'm sure you probably had some friendly competition. You can close more deals, I would assume.
Of course.
Which is always exciting there.
Yeah.
So it's that's always exciting that way. And then you moved into your own business. And why don't you talk to us about that?
Moving into my own business, well, actually, how I got into that, it was so I go to a dealership one day, and I had a friend that invited us there, and it was really kind of by accident. I had learned really how to close my own deals. I really didn't need anyone to help me close my own deals. I felt quite confident in it, but not confident enough that I wouldn't call a closer in. Um, because you always have something to learn from someone.
Right.
Everybody in this world can learn something from someone. So don't ever feel like you have an ego big enough that you can't.
Yeah.
Um, so we went to this dealership, and so my friend asked us in, and so he's like, oh, really, I'm having a problem here. He said, Steve, he said, I need for you to come in and close for me up this week. He said, I don't have, a closer. Steve backs up and he's like, oh, no, no, no. He said, I'm not your closer. He said, this is your bulldog right here. And he's looking at me, and so I was like, oh, wait, no, I'm not prepared for this, And then I'm thinking, like we were talking before, I was always the little sister with no fear. My sister's like, I'll push you down the mountain, So, I was like, okay, well, I'll try it. I'll give it a go. And I knew that I was going to give it the best shot that I possibly could.
Yep.
I'm like, I can do this. So I did, and I ended up there for like 7 years, and I loved what I did. And so then that's when I decided. With this, my team leader, he died of cancer, and so I became that owner of the business. I bought the business, and then I went from there. I started hiring all of my employees, training them. And of course I'd have to go through all the licensing and things like that. And there was no looking back after that, Anthony. I just absolutely loved what I did, and the auto industry. There's nothing else that I would want to do. There's nowhere else for me to be.
Well, it's a passion for you.
Yes.
As a business owner, Kath, obviously you had your employees, you took care of them. What are some best practices that you've done that you would like to share with some of our dealers and management staff that what would be good things for them to do with their employees?
Um, Going forward, basically just to lead from the heart, just as you have said, on Facebook, what you've taught, and I think what Craig has said too, and Ernie. Again, it's not about the money. If you, as I was telling you in the car earlier, what I would train with my employees, I would see them when they were sitting there, and I would see them like stressed out, and they would, take up after up after up, and that's what they would, call it, and and they would just, oh, that's all they were doing. They were just sitting there, and they're like, oh gosh, man, I just took this up, and nothing. And I'm like, look, all you're doing is you're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
What you have to do is you have to sit there and you have to, gain confidence with your customer. Make them a friend. And then once you do that and they see the happiness on your face and they see you relax, every customer can read your reaction in your face. If you're sitting back and you're relaxed and they know that you're happy, or if they see you sitting up and they know that you're stressed, that you're trying to pay your bills or whatever, they know they can read you just like you can read your customer, whether they're going to sign on the dotted line or not. They know you and they know what's going on with you. So just be relaxed, be comfortable with your customers.
A customer never wants to feel they're a dollar sign on their forehead.
Exactly.
And we talked about that. Whether if it's customers or even people can spot them out. The people that are fake, that have ulterior motives, and all that. It's like, okay, I get we have to do business and make a living and all that, but why can't we look at their needs, put their needs first over ours?
Right.
Which is very important to do that. Now, what are some best practices there for the dealers and management? Now, what about some of the new hires? You saw today, as you sat there in the interviews and you watch me interview applicants, and you see my tonality. I did the same interview. I did a different tonality, and also the way I positioned my body based on the person's personality. My normal way of interviewing is to sit about a third way across the table. That can be intimidating for some candidates or potential new hires. So I've learned to make those adjustments a little bit. So when you go through that, well, what's some advice you can give when somebody comes in, and you saw it today? Some people were nervous, right? So the modified okey dokey, right?
Yes.
And then, it works. And you see how calm they were when they did it. Because then they laughed. It's like, okay, they're not all stretched out trying to get this position now. It's like, hey, let's have a little bit of fun.
Right.
And that's why I try to let my personality come out. I mean, I told you before I met you, I'm a little bit nuts, and I am, all right. But it's like you go through this and you try to show people that you care and it's okay.
Yes.
And to relax that way. So, what are some best practices from a new hire? Now you brought them aboard, okay? So even for yourself, right? We hired you. We didn't hire you dead. And at least after the first day, I didn't kill you after I got you. At least not yet. We'll see what happens on Friday. We'll see what happens at the end of the week here. When she drives home and I fly home. But it's just to go through that. But it's you have the applicant that way. What's some advice for them to be able to calm their nerves? And as my favorite manager, Mohammed Laraki, would say, relax, Bucky Bucky. Don't you worry, Bucky. He's from Morocco. And that's what he would say all the time, so what's some advice you would give for them?
I mean, if they come in nervous, just like with you, Anthony, you have the best personality of, training. I mean, just with me, like I've been totally nervous about this, and I'm like, oh, I'm calling my sisters. I'm like, I'm on Facebook Live. I don't want to do this. But totally calm me down, and so just feeling so good about that. And there was a guy that came in today, and I mean, he was so young, and just fresh out of school. I mean, just the
graduated
way
high school in May.
I know,
which I didn't even know. I thought June was when they graduated, but he put May on his
I
resume.
know, and
So
just fresh out of school, he comes in. He's just so young, and Anthony did an incredible job with him. And I was reading him, the young guy, and I was looking at Anthony, and Anthony just made him feel incredible. I wish you could have seen the hope in this young kid's eyes. I mean, he's just like never had a job, I don't even think.
I mean, he's had jobs, just never broke.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a career yet.
Yes. But the
But
hope that you gave him, it's like just incredible. First of all, he was nervous. So Anthony has his way of working with people that are nervous, and it's like you get up and you shake it off. And that's what he did. And by the time he sat down, it's like, this is the greatest thing ever. Now I feel like, I really do have some hope. Somebody here has given me hope, and that was Anthony. He did that for this kid. And it's like, I can come to work here and I can feel comfortable knowing that somebody has, given me some hope that I really came here for an opportunity for.
and that's what it's about. We go back and everyone on this feed, whether if you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever it may be on this feed, you can go back to that one or two people in your life that said, I believe in you. I trust you. I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere. In some cases, I love you. And you really mean it. And they inspire you, as my dear friend Katie Maris would say, to create positive, actionable change, as she would say, and an opportunity, the career opportunity. And when you do that, you saw that young man's face, 18 years old. You saw his hope.
I did.
And it's like he's going to come in and he'll be nervous on Friday when he comes to class. And, I'm going to overcome that, and you believe in that person and you support them and you show them that. Now, I can't guarantee his employment. We can. Well, just guarantee an opportunity, but I guarantee that I'm going to do the best I possibly can to positively impact and change his life. I take that information, and to be able to roll with it, be a better man, be a better person to grow up. And I don't know his background. Maybe he's had solid parents. Maybe he doesn't know who his dad is. Maybe he was raised by his grandmother. You don't know.
Right.
You have no idea. I've told a lot of different applicants today that definitely had some baggage, so to speak, that we saw. Not everyone was invited. That's okay. So you go through that and you find the best of the best, and you find that person that they think they can do it, they're not sure, and they instill the confidence. And whether if you're 18 and you're just getting started out as an adult, or you've had a very successful business life and your own business and being a road warrior, and it's your first day with AutoMax recruiting and training, you instill confidence in the human being. And the reason why I harp on that so much is because I had people in my life that gave me that shot. They were patient with me when I screwed up. They were patient with me when I lost my temper. and they gave me the opportunity and they stayed with me,
Right.
and that's what's so remarkable about what we do.
Right.
So your friend Jeffrey said it perfectly here. Nothing like mentoring someone in the automotive industry and helping them become successful. You cannot put a dollar amount on that,
That's
You just
right,
can't.
Jeffrey.
I mean, that is just a huge thing to be able to do that, and that's what we stand for. And if you're not about that, well, guess what? You got to do a checkup from the neck up, as my friend Jesse
Yes.
King would say.
Yep.
And that's just it's so important on it. So let's turn the table a little bit here, Kat.
Okay.
So now you're a Facebook veteran. You're a superstar now. You've been on for almost a half hour.
Oh, yay.
Right? You're rocking and
I thought
rolling.
the hour was
Hit
almost
the
up.
heart and like and wow button. This
Please,
is Kathy
guys.
Baxter's first ever
time.
Facebook Live and our newest member of the AutoMax recruiting and trainer team, our newest national sales recruiter and trainer with it. So I have the privilege to obviously, help her along here in her first journey out here on the road. So what are some of your goals that you want to bring to AutoMax as far as to help us grow as an organization?
Well, prospecting, of course, that's always so important. Putting yourself out there, such as you do, Anthony. You're a star. So,
hey, if people can watch me, they're going to watch you 10 times the views.
I doubt that.
Trust me, facts. It's
No,
just
I doubt that.
And people will put up with, me, all I have to offer you is honesty, efficiency. I have no good looks. So
Yes.
they're going to watch you 10 times the views, but you're going to be a huge social media star.
Listen, all the ladies love you, Anthony.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they do. Ladies' hearts. So, no, really. Anytime that you are, whether it be your own company or it's another company, it doesn't matter. Anywhere I've ever worked, um, you should give it 110%, not just 100%. You should give it 110%, no matter where you are, where you work. Because if you can't give it that, if you're not all in, then don't be in. And that's the way I feel. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, who I'm doing it for. I'm going to give it everything I've got. And if I can't do that, then I'm not even going to begin it. I'm not going to start it. I'm just not in. So, and that's what I want to do for AutoMax, and that's why I'm here. And again, Craig and Ernie and Anthony and Joe and Kyle and everybody here, I just want to thank you again for having me here and for hiring me and letting me be here, because I feel like it's just a wonderful opportunity for me to be here. It opened a lot of doors for me. Um, Back in the auto industry again, and that's where I want to be. And I hope that I can be very successful for you, which is what I want to be. And thank you again.
It's all in or all out. It really is. And when you put the time in, it's really truly a blessing what things can materialize if you make the adjustments, if you overcome your fears, if you overcome the stereotypes type of thing. You'll see things grow.
Right.
They will. We have to be willing to get out of our own shell at times. We have to be willing to step out of our comfort zones and stretch, which is important. I did that my first day of training. You'll see it on Friday. I had, you're not going to start to be average, reach for greatness. Mm-hmm. There's a quote that I have up there, and then I have to put the right hand up, and I have to stretch it. More, 2 more inches. I see that stretch. I'm not going to just stretch your arms, so I'm going to stretch your minds.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you to do things that you might not be comfortable doing.
Right.
But I'm doing it because I want you to grow. Because all of you want to go from here to here, and they all shake their heads yes. Great.
That's right.
So let's find a way to do that. And even the fact that, and I've said this before, it's coming up on 3 years now that I've been on Facebook. I was not on Facebook, as I call it, prior to becoming a trainer.
Right.
And then Craig was like, I need to get on Facebook. And I was like, it's stupid, Craig. What the hell's wrong with you? And it's like, all of a sudden I've been on here, and it's like a vessel where you can use this to impact people's lives. Mm-hmm. My former F&I manager and I were texting this morning, one of my many former F&I managers, with it, and she was just telling me how much she appreciates the things that I post. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you want to do these things. with that to show people. But it's not easy to be on camera.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
easy to overcome our own stereotypes. We look in the mirror. There isn't too many people that look in the mirror and say, "I'm so pretty." Like you don't see people
Never.
doing that.
No.
It's like not a whole lot of people do that, and it's like you have to overcome that. Now you go on camera and people put comments, this and that, and everything. But why? You do it to put the people's needs ahead of yours
Right.
and overcome that. So if you have the one or two hecklers, so what?
Right.
Which is important that way. Dealers, as with all our trainers, they go anywhere in the country. However, if you're Southeast, Kathy Baxter is going to be available soon to serve all your recruiting and training needs. Yes. So if you want a
Thank
Southern Belle who's
you.
from Charlotte, North Carolina,
I'm here.
so it's a little different there. So Kathy definitely brings an interesting dynamic to our AutoMax team. Her experience, her wisdom, her knowledge, and also the politeness. Being a mom, being a Mimi, so to speak. It's like it was 8 o'clock now. So it's been what 25 hours since we actually met for the first time,
Right.
approximately. I already feel like I've learned from her this week. She's supposed to learn from me. I feel like I've learned from her this week. I sit there and I thought about this when I went back to the hotel last night after we went and had dinner. And I was like, there's things I'm going to learn from Kathy this week to help bring that chip down, to help understand that different perspectives that way, to show that courage, to show that love, to give grace, to be a little more patient about things. All those different things. That's what we're about learning from each other. So I'm learning from you this week. I am.
Like I said, we learn from each other.
We do. And it's very important. It is to be able to do that. So you're coming in and you're seeing different people, you're seeing different applicants, you're seeing the dealer. What was your first reaction today when you walked into the dealership?
It's not being in the dealership for a while. It's meeting the dealers. It's not much has changed actually. It's really about the same. Um, it's a nice dealership. I mean, it's really about the same. I mean, it looks like the salespeople. They definitely need salespeople. Um, so yeah, they needed us here, I think. So
They had a change of ownership here at the
yeah,
store recently, and they're looking to grow and make some changes, looking to hire double-digit people,
right.
and bring some new blood in,
Hmm.
and make some changes, which is an exciting thing. It is.
It's always a good thing.
And in order to do that, to find the best quantity of quality of applicants, you have to look everywhere.
Right.
And Adam Aaron's on here, who's an AutoMax client. He picks out the Patriot Subaru, Patriot Nissan. He says you have to hire Uber drivers. And he's right.
Hmm.
We did not have any Uber drivers that I interviewed today, but it wouldn't surprise me if there won't be 4 or 5 of them between tomorrow and Thursday that will interview. And I'll probably end up inviting all of them, because they are good conversation starters. They do get good communication skills.
Hmm.
Also, veterans. We had a veteran today,
Oh, we did.
right?
It was great.
And I loved them, didn't I? You loved them too.
Yeah.
And okay, is there any reason to face this plant why you can't come to training? And what did he say to us? He has a colonoscopy on Friday.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And it was the VA hospital, and I know a little. I'm not a veteran, but I do understand when you get an appointment with the VA, it's hard to rebook that. It is not easy. It isn't. And we talked about it, and he said, we were talking through it. I wasn't sure. I was about to grab one of the managers and TL the manager and have him interview him on the spot and try to hire him on the spot. But I really wanted him to experience the training class on Friday. So I was this close to call that audible to do that. And that's what I was teaching Kathy today.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have to make those audibles and think on the spot, and ship them to fly. They can't make it, but you think the person's a great fit. Go have the manager do that. And he doesn't, because you know what, Anthony? I'm going to cancel the appointment. I really want to be here. I really want to be here, and I want to be here. I'm all with this. I said, here you go. Because you got to bring back with you. And it turns out the guy's originally from Philly. He doesn't know I'm from Philly. He doesn't know it yet. He'll know Friday.
Yeah.
With it. So And I think that'll help a little bit as well. Who would have thought? Some guy in Georgeville here, right?
I know, right?
When it's which is exciting. When it's so you make those adjustments that way. We had a couple young ladies coming today too.
We did.
What was your thoughts on them?
Yeah. There was a little mild, little meek lady that came in, so it sort of just reminded me of, me when I very first started out. So, yeah, I thought, well, and then it ended up, she didn't work out. But then there was another lady that came in, really cute girl, and I was impressed with her, and you were too. And we both thought that she would end up very well. So I can see her being long term in the car business.
Tell us why. Why don't you elaborate a little more on that?
Very well dressed. So just came in very professional. The exuberant smile on her face was just beautiful, just happy. Um, it didn't really have any experience at all, but you could see her going really, really far as far as her personality, her character is going to carry her far in the car business. I could already tell that.
And she was dressed for the part,
she was,
and she was dressed very professionally. But even if she wasn't, even if she was in ripped jeans, I'm not talking about these fancy ripped jeans that are $400 pair of jeans.
It was the smile.
But even if she was that and she was in a ripped shirt, whatever, type of thing, it wasn't about that. It was the personality and drive.
Right.
And as I'm interviewing her, I see her energy growing. Because I'm looking at the character and the hunger, desire in someone's eyes.
Exactly.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yes.
That I don't care what's on the piece of paper. I don't. I told Kathy I look for two things. Remember the two things I look for? Do you remember? I'll put you on the spot here. On the resume. What are the two things I look for?
Fulfillment. Is that right?
No. The two things. No, the two things on an applicant's resume. There's only two things I check for. I check if they're what.
I don't remember.
You remember if they're employed?
Yeah,
right. They're employed, and I check if they did what, which is very important. Which we just talked about the one gentleman. If you did what with their contract.
If you served.
So their contract. Right? That's the only things I care about in the resume. I mean, if there's a cover letter, great. I read it and I get excited when I see that. But it's like you see the hunger, desire in someone's eyes, and I'm thinking in my mind, here's somebody that's green, that's new. We are going to build her confidence up. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the best we possibly can to be able to just say yes and give her an opportunity. But I want to make sure that we continue the mentorship after the fact. So when things get hard, now what? They don't give up.
Right.
I had a text message last night.
So good with that.
I had a text message last night when we were having dinner, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And it was a salesperson I trained a couple of years ago that I'm very, very proud of. And she bought her first house, 22 years old. And she was struggling with a little bit of something. And I told her, I said, I'm going to reach out to you. Give me a little time. We finish up having dinner with her. We're going to do trainer here. And then I'm going to give her a call. And we talked about the time that's put in. And one thing I've been recognizing in my life that I did not recognize when I was in the trench selling cars, it's important to have some more balance of your life and take the time. I think you guys saw I took a little trip last week. And I took a trip to Oakland to see my Raiders play. I went with my childhood friend, who's my big bro, Mike Morrow, who literally messaged me like 3 minutes before we went live and told me how much he loved the trip. It's so important to take that time where you have the energy and you re-energize. But what are we taught in the car industry, Kat? We're taught we're always going to miss a deal. Right. You can't miss anything. You have to work bell to bell every day, always checking stuff. And I was a huge violator of this. I did it all the time. And it's like when you do that, it starts to wear on you. And you're putting more time in, but you're netting lower results, fewer results that you are. But it took AutoMax to teach this hard-headed Italian how to overcome that.
You're not making it.
Yeah. So I'm on the phone with her last night, talking to her. And this girl could be my daughter. I mean, she could. She acts and reacts the same way as I do. And, I was sort of explaining, I was going to real life stories of where, when I was her age, I did the same thing she was doing. And I said to her, you were so far ahead of where I was. Bought a house at 22, and I bought my goal at 27. the way you do things, the way you take care of your family, all these great things and everything. You're doing so great, but you're feeling that stress. I said, when's your day off? She said, Thursday. I said, take your day off this week. Don't do that. And I know enough about her, where I know the things that she likes to do, and I said, go do this, go do that, the things she likes. I said, trust me, I know you're with the deals, but you'll come in Friday, you'll have energy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you're doing those hat tricks and doing those 5-course Saturdays, what she was doing in the spring and summertime.
Right.
There's like hat tricks every Saturday. In May, she did 5 cars in one day at a Mazda store. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
And it's important to be able to do that. And that's what you want to do when it comes to employees. Employee retention is so pivotal. I mean, Adam Aarons understands that. His employee retention is remarkable. So, hey, James Steele, he was my guest a couple weeks ago. With it. So, it's just, it really is something that when you do that and you show people that better way to live,
right,
and Augmandino and everything that we've talked about,
mm-hmm.
it really, once it's changed their lives, it'll change your lives as well.
Yes, it will.
With it. So
it will. You have to take a break sometimes, and you have to step back. If you don't take that breather for yourself, such as Kelly is probably not doing, then she's not helping her customers by taking deal by deal by deal. She's only hurting herself. So you really do. You have to take a step back and say, just by me taking those deals, I'm not really taking deals. I'm actually hurting myself, and I'm hurting the customer. So that's what she's doing.
And even as a trainer, it's the same way. I mean, I get that, I've been very blessed, busy nonstop and everything. But, when my childhood friend's wife, who's also my childhood friend, reached out to me in August and said, I want to do this for Mike for his birthday, blah, 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 and surprise him. My first reaction was, I'm all in, let's do it. Where 3 years ago, I would have told Julie, I'm sorry, I got deals to work, I can't. I was a slave to the store.
Right.
And that hurt my production.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it made me not a good leader either when you're doing that. But I've seen the light now. I said, let's do it. So, yes, okay, so what? You don't work that week, okay? And for me, to be able to do something like that in the middle of the week means I can't work. So I didn't have income last week. Okay. But you know what? It was worth it to see the smile on Mike's face.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I was able to capitalize on the week because I had the privilege and honor to be the co-host of our recruiter podcast, which you watched it.
I did.
You watched all 4.5 hours.
The best. Nonstop. Katie, Greg, Anthony. It was the best. You drew me in, and it was wonderful.
It was, Katie's, the show last week, and I highly recommend you go on our YouTube channel, AutoMax Recruiting, and watch it. Please subscribe to our channel. It was the highest viewership ever in the history of the AutoMax, recruiting long form podcast. It's because of Katie. Katie's remarkable. She absolutely is. And I had the privilege to be there and to be the co-host with Craig. But also it's the chemistry there.
Yes.
Craig and I have built chemistry in the last few years in my crazy ways. He's grown to accept that and love me. Katie and I have chemistry. It's like you go through that and you can feed off that, and now you get to bring a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
And the people with different perspective. And again, to go back to Katie's hashtag, you're creating positive, actionable change in someone's life. And we always tease her about that because I say it and she says, well, in an all-in way, she says, which is mine, obviously go all in, type of thing, which is just really remarkable to be able to do that. So what are your thoughts the rest of the week here, Kathy? We have 2 more days of interviews, and then we have our orientation Friday, and then we're going to turn the potential new hires candidates over to the dealership. With that, what are your expectations of wanting to grow? So the next time you're out on the road, the training wheels are off, the wings are unclipped, and you're on your own. Even though I'm only a ding, ping, or ring away, as they say, right? We'll be on the phone nonstop. We will. I promise you that, right?
I know.
I'm not going to let you down. You know that.
He is my shadow. I couldn't do without him.
But what are your expectations for the rest of the week here?
I think my expectations now are just, hoping to, and I know that I will. I I will learn everything I can, from you because I know you're a great mentor. Um, like he said, I feel like I have known him forever. Anthony is not a person that you meet and you don't feel like you've ever known him. I mean, he's just that
I don't know
type
if
of
that's a good
guy.
thing. You know?
He's that type of guy. I promise you. It's just like he's a big, lovable guy. He just really is. But to expectations here are from here on out, even when I take the training wheels off. I want to, really, really grow with the company. I want to see what I always wanted. I want to see people succeed, like we were talking at dinner. I've always wanted to be successful, not about the money, but for me to be successful, like we think in our minds alike,
Yeah.
for me to be successful, I want you to be successful. I want, if you came from if you're a green pea, whatever you are, if you don't know anything about automotive industry, I want you to know everything that I know because if you grow, I grow.
Yeah.
So that's what I want you to know. So if I'm training you, if I'm interviewing you, whatever it is, I want that dealer to be happy with what I brought to the table for them. I want AutoMax to be happy with what I've done, of course. But I want to know that I've put all in what you've expected of me. But I want whoever I'm interviewing, whoever I'm training, I want them to have the knowledge that I have. Because if they don't have it as a young kid, that 18-year-old, if he doesn't have the knowledge that I have, then how is he going to know to tell somebody else or pass it along? So that's what I tried to teach my employees.
Absolutely. When we hold it all in and we try to push the people down and not try to make others help others grow, that's just a recipe for failure
Right,
in your organization. It just really is.
right.
Let's stop being that. And I used the example at dinner about the dog. You have a dog, it's eating, it starts growling. It's very protective.
Hmm.
Why? Because we all base our experience or about that off our past experiences. That dog, its food was taken, it had to compete for something in the past, and that caused a trust issue. And
Absolutely.
that, can we start trying to trust others? I know it's hard. We talked about this, off camera. It's not easy, but let's associate ourselves with good people. Like James Steele right now had James Steele puts the show on his huge TV, his big screen TV.
Oh,
He's got like a
it's
60-inch
big.
TV, and he has it on his TV now. It's crazy, But to be able to give back to others, to do that, and to encourage others. Hit the like button, hit the comment button, hit the share button, and just give back to others. Is it really that hard?
Thank you, Jean. That's my sister.
That's your sister?
That's my
Awesome.
sister.
Heartfelt is the key. Put yourself in their place. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it's like you want to do that because we were all in that place at one point, Gene, weren't we? It's like we were in that position where we needed to be given a shot. And we were rejected, and we went through difficulties, and we went through failures, and we were told you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, or you're too pretty to sell cars. All that type of nonsense. It's like, and you go through that, and now you get the person say, I believe in you. I believe in you. I'm not letting you down. I'm going to be here for you. And you do that.
Right.
And when you do that, when somebody is going through difficulties in their life, both inside and outside the walls of the dealership, and you show them, hey, there's nothing going to stop me from helping you be the best version of yourself.
Right.
Nothing going to stop me from helping you go through those difficult times. Because what are we taught? We're taught to hold our shit in. We're taught to, not show emotion, not show weakness, all that type of stuff. So of course, we're afraid to put our hand up and ask for help because we've been crushed before. Let's try to flip the script, Facebook Nation, and change that and ask for help. Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the people that mean the most to me in my life that have been able to take the time to help me grow, to help get through to me with that. And there's so many different examples now because I had that opportunity. I have different examples across the country, dozens of potential new hires that were passed on by a dealership, and we were able to get them hired somewhere else, and they're growing and they're crushing. And that's what it's about. And when you have to be able to let people know, you back up your words. You say you're going to do something, you do it. My father told me, he said, Angelo, we're going to do a job, do it right, don't do it at all, as my dad told me when I was 7 years old. And when you do that and you show them when they reach out to you and you help, you communicate. The young lady I spoke to last night, she would not be in the corner street if she didn't reach out to me in those first 6 months when she wanted to quit 22 times. I didn't try to change her mind, just talk through it with her. When she still reaches out. What if she reached out and I ignored her? I told her I was too busy. And as Katie would say, when you say you're too busy, it's not a priority.
Right.
You make it a priority for people. And that's what you want to do. If you don't have that in your heart, Facebook Nation, about impacting others and give them your time, no matter how tired you are, no matter how stressed you are about trying to make deals or this or that and everything, and you don't give your employees time, and you don't give the people in your life time, you're going to regret it. And from a business standpoint, you're going to be, not going to grow. So that money that you're chasing all the time, guess what? It's going to go backwards because you didn't put needs of others first. Let's stop chasing the dollar. As Craig says, if we do what we do better than anyone else, someone will find a way to pay us. That's what we're about at AutoMax. That's what Kathy's about. That's what I'm about. That's what Craig's about. Ernie, Joe, Jody, Joanna, Danielle, Mama Jane, all of us. John Tracy, Bobby Stevens, my mentors. That is what we're about. I challenge all of you to think that way. Go to bed tonight and think about how you can impact people's lives. So let's have the numbers. Set aside what always goes the last 30 days, which is running our freaking head, if they on the forestry. And let's change that. And let's develop the homegrown talent. Let's think of reasons to have reasons to hire versus reasons not to. Have people and believe in them. Give them encouragement. When they screw up, maybe they cost you a deal, instead of freaking out, let's coach them, train them, teach them, be patient with them. So that way they can make it 10 times the deals in the future. That's true leadership. That's true management. Any parting thoughts, Kathy?
That's, in business and in life, Anthony. I think that carries through with even, your personal life.
Yeah.
Carry that on with, your personal life.
Because you don't know what someone's
Lead
going
with your
through.
heart.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going through. And when you lead with your heart,
yeah,
and you see that person that's going through difficulties and they're stressed and they're scared and they keep holding everything in and they don't know what to do.
Right.
Because the most poor people in their life, there's struggles. You want to drop everything and be there for them. That's what true love is. That's what a true soulmate.
It is.
Would go. Go back to your relationship with Steve, right? Steve's helped a little bit of struggle there with your husband and everything, but you love him very much and you're there for him.
Right.
And he's there for you.
Right.
He's supporting you. You're on the road right now.
Absolutely.
You support him. Your daughter's there to help when you're on the road.
Right.
That's what family's about. That's what she gets it. She gets it. That's why, her inner core is good. So you guys should want her in your store. And she brings a totally different dynamic to me. Totally different dynamic to me, with that. Kathy, how can people reach you if they want to bring you aboard to do a campaign?
Well, you can either reach me by mail or Facebook. Of course, I'm on Facebook now, so Anthony's brought me to Facebook Live. Or you can reach me by phone. Yes. Can I get my phone number out?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Facebook Live, here I am. So you can reach me by 704-619-2724. I would love for you to call me anytime. I'm always available, so please do. I'd love to be in your dealership. Love to come in. Love for you to have me. Love to help you out. And you can also reach me on Facebook, Kathy Baxter. Of course, my picture's on there. You'll recognize me, I hope. And I just won't be with Anthony. Unfortunately, I won't be a great mentor here. I also,
We'll talk on the phone every day, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, and I am on LinkedIn. So you can find me on all the social media. And thank you again for having me tonight.
Will this be your last Facebook Live, Kath?
Probably so. No, I'm just kidding. No, I will definitely be back on Facebook Live. I hope many more times. Yes, I will be back because I want to build my business. I want it to grow. I want to build AutoMax. That's what I'm here to do. So I'm excited about it, and I will be back. Facebook Live, you're going to see me a lot. So
you heard it. Hold her accountable to that.
You're going to see me a lot. So I'm going to be in dealerships all over the country. Yeah. So get ready, Facebook.
Kathy's ready to go.
I'm ready.
Reach out to her, Facebook Nation. Any questions that way, she's going to be ready to go. She's going to upgrade with positive impact lives and bring you the best quantity and quality of applicants. Give her an opportunity. Once upon a time, somebody gave me an opportunity. How'd that work out? Give her an opportunity. I promise you, for the the goods. She will.
Thank you.
So,
thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate it.
You're awesome.
Thank you, guys.
So, how are we going to end this here? What's my hashtag?
All in.
Right? Go
That's
all
where
in.
we are.
Until next week, Facebook Nation, go out there and listen to the advice that we gave you tonight. Put the needs of others first versus the dollars. Stop stressing about the deals. Just go out there and put a smile on people's faces. And just say yes to people who chance you. I will talk to you soon. As always, Facebook Nation, go all